Funky DINEVA gives his thoughts on Martell's concubine finally joining Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I have a strong feeling I'm going to disagree. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all know why y'all here. Y'all know why y'all here. So we're talking because Funky DINEVA has given some thoughts on what he thinks of Martell's long concubine finally being able to join the show, finally getting the green light from Carlos King, from Kingdom Reign, and all of the things, you guys. And I have a feeling I'm going to disagree with Funky DINEVA. Now, remember, back in the early days of the show, Funky DINEVA was Melody Cherie's biggest fan. You couldn't tell him nothing. I'm still not fully sure as to what led to the switch up. I just know when the switch up happened, he was saying unspeakable things about Melody Cherie, right? And then started going up for the Scots 1.0 and 2.0 and taking several trips out to Huntsville to hang out with them at Black with the QUE, right? And ultimately, Funky DINEVA is the one who has called Martell's concubine coleslaw, right? So I am curious to see what Funky DINEVA is going to say, but I have a feeling he's going to be excited and all the things, because for a while he stopped reviewing and reacting to the show because he felt that it got too toxic and things like that and didn't want to deal with the fan base and all the things. So we're going to get into what Funky DINEVA has to say, and then I'm going to give some thoughts.
Ariana Curry gonna be on the next season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. She gonna be on there. And let me tell you something. About damn time.
Well, y'all, I already see where this is gonna go. I already see where this is about to go. Let's continue.
Yes, God. Now, y'all know one thing about me. I'm going to say whatever it is I need to say about you. I'm going to say what the people thinking about you, but I'm always going to go out of my way to try to be as fair as possible. She should have been on the show since day one. That first 3 or 4 seasons of that show was predicated upon the invisible character of Ariana Curry.
Again, I disagree. I disagree completely and wholeheartedly because ultimately it's Melody's story. It is Melody's story. She was cheated on. You got a mistress that is up here calling the phone, demanding to speak to Martell. You got a mistress out here getting pregnant at the same time, allegedly, as Melody Cherie. And all the things. Literally actively competing with the wife. But I do not believe in any capacity she should have ever been on the show, because y'all don't have the same energy for Bravo, for Real Housewives, and all of the things. See, I know what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted a Rashida and Kirk situation, where his side chick, you know what I'm saying, baby mama, was on the show. Y'all decided to give her a check. And as y'all see, the show's no more. As y'all see, the show is no more. Once we're at that point where you're accepted of the side chick and the side baby, and all of this and all of that, and trying to gaslight the audience that this SHIT is normal, it is time to close the show. It is time to end the show. It is time to cancel the series, you guys. That's what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted Melody Cherie to be humiliated on the show that her and her ex-husband pitched to Carlos King. Yes, they may have changed the title and may have changed some things about what the actual show turned out to be, but still give Mel and Martell their props. They're the one that brought that show to Carlos King. But ultimately, it was about 3 married couples, 3 successful married couples that were allegedly multimillionaires that were supposed to be, you know, with the comeback group, building affordable housing for the community. So where does the side chick fit into that particular storyline? Where does she fit into that story if you were supposed to be promoting Black excellence in black families. Instead, you want the side chick to be on to continue the destruction and humiliation of the black family. And at that point in time, Martell and Mel's kids together were still filming the show. So you want the side chick to just be out here, you know what I'm saying? Making up whatever false narratives that she's going to come up with to try to humiliate the wife. And I'm not about that. Let's continue.
Okay, Love and Marriage Huntsville would not have been the success that it was had it not been for the triangle that Martell, Melanie, and Ariane were in. Now, just some of my own intel and common sense, there was absolutely no world where Melanie was going to share a platform that she created and give fame and money to the person who helped dissolve her marriage. I completely understand that. I don't blame Melanie. There's no world where she's going to share that. Now that Melody has been gone for quite some time, I only dip in and out of the show. It really don't look like Martell got a lot going on outside of trying to expose the Scott brothers for cheating 40 seasons down the line. I do want to see the dynamic. I want to see the dynamic between her and Martell. I want to hear her side of the story. No tea, no shade. Y'all had these shows and y'all were able to use this show as a vessel to defame and say all types of things about this girl.
So Martell calling his side chick a peasant is defaming. I am of confusion. I feel like that's addressing what it is. How is that defaming somebody? She is a peasant. You called her a coleslaw and coined that. You know what I'm saying? What was that defaming? I am of confusion. So you do agree that this is the show that Melody Cherie put on the map, brought to Carlos King and all of the things, and that she has every right to not have the mistress on the show, but you're up here talking like a love triangle as if Melody Cherie wanted to be a part of said triangle. She was trying to save her marriage. You have Martell, who's an idiot, that thought his mistress was worth saving. He never thought that Mel was going to leave him for good. And he effed around and he found out. And ultimately, the cast realized that they should have chose Mel instead of Martell. They shouldn't have believed Martell's lies about Mel, and they should have chose Mel and made an effort to fully ice Martell out of the show a long time ago. Y'all realized to ice out Martell, too little, too late. And that's on the Scotts 1.0 and 2.0. Oh, y'all thought with Mel not being on the show that he was going to give up cheating allegations against y'all? No. But Mel told y'all all of this. Y'all sat back and had y'all popcorn as long as Mel was the one being humiliated and attacked. But Neil, that it happened to y'all, now all of a sudden y'all don't want to film with him. Now all of a sudden y'all don't want to do scenes with him and all this and all of that. And have him, not be a part of certain storylines and group scenes and all the sort. But y'all were too little, too late. And Neil, as a result, because y'all did not give enough, and because Martell was not in as many episodes, unless he was filming with Destiny or Chris or Ken, but Ken's not on the show anymore. So now you're just either filming with Destiny or Chris. That's not going to be enough. And Martell, you're the one that didn't want your kids filming the show. So ultimately, what else do you got to film if the Scotts 1.0 and 2.0 aren't effing with you like that? So this kind of happened, you know what I'm saying? Y'all iced out the wrong person. Y'all tried to phase out the wrong person. Y'all should have been trying to phase out Martell the moment it was announced that Melody Cherie filed for a divorce. So y'all got nobody to blame but yourselves, because y'all should have taken over the show and showed y'all lives. And because it was not sufficient enough, Carlos King had to call the same mistress that sat here and said disrespectful things about Carlos King, about Oprah Winfrey, and about the Oprah Winfrey Network. Let's continue.
Now it's her turn. Like, I want to hear her story. Now, granted, at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to change much. But Ariana Curry is just as much a cast member of Love and Marriage Huntsville as anybody else. And I am glad to see that we are actually getting ready to see some real life. I'm glad that she's there. And I am probably going to tune in and out. Spirit tells me that she's not going to be like on the whole show. I may be wrong. My spirit tells me they put her in this trailer and she's going to have a very small role in popping up on that camera. We shall.
And this is my point as well. What is the point of the concubine if she's only going to be quote unquote popping up for an episode here or there? You know what I'm saying? Popping up on an episode to, you know what I'm saying, do this little verses with Destiny. And I don't mean the one that, you know, Swiss Beats and Timbaland do with the music artist, but I mean trying to have a storyline based off of which kids got accepted into which schools and which ones didn't, and then not be utilized for what she actually went viral for, was what the stuff that she said about Scott's 1.0 and 2.0 and allegedly the linebackers on Tasha K. You're talking about for her to tell her side of her story where she knowingly chose to get entangled with a married man and try to rewrite history and make it seem like Martell's ex-wife was okay with that. But if she was okay with that, wouldn't she still be married to him? Wouldn't this be a 21 Savage situation and his wife where they're still legally married and entertaining Lotto and going to the baby shower together as a date? This is not the same. This is not the same. And I wish people would stop putting this side chick on this pedestal and just make it seem like she's so misunderstood and just people just have it wrong about her. And people want to act like she has not been on this internet talking cash, SHIT, about Melody Cherie, about Martell and Melody Cherie's kids together, having all these crash outs, saying the most disrespectful, slanderous, defamatory things, and just flat out disgusting behavior. Are we really not? Are we just gonna pretend that this didn't happen? Are we just gonna have amnesia that none of this happened? That y'all weren't, seeing what she was saying on those live streams, and we're just gonna act like she was misunderstood? That the marriage had been over with Martell and Mel. It was completely business, even though they were still having kids together, which would say otherwise. Like, is this what we're doing? Is this what we've turned into? Just say you want to see mess. Just say you want to see mess. And leave it at that. But I do not feel there's a story that a mistress has to tell, especially when said mistress is knowingly involving themselves with a married man and was living high off the hog in the earlier seasons, like what Tasha was alleging. They had matching BMWs, and she couldn't wait to show the mistress on, you know what I'm saying, on her flip phone to Kimmy. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't wait to show that as a dig to Mel, as a way to humiliate Mel. And take down, the power couple image that Mel and Martell had. You know what I'm saying? And for y'all to prop up this mistress, like, you know what I'm saying? Like she's doing something. She has had several years to do something with herself, to make a platform for herself, to get a real job, to do something. She's finally an LPN. But let's keep it a buck. Martell does not have the same access to the money and income he had when he was with his wife. So all those trips, you know what I'm saying? All those getaways, the matching BMWs, all that, you went from that to struggle bus now. To struggle busing now. To not even having a vehicle until recently. But like, what are we talking about? So you've been down in the dumps while you still see Martell's kids with Melody having a very good life, having a very good, successful life. And that is why you did a live stream saying that you wish Martell would have stayed married, because you realized that Martell is not the breadwinner. And now you got to go out and work. You got to go out and get this nursing job. And you're in a state that does not pay nurses well compared to other states. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I shouldn't have been surprised by Funky Dineva's commentary. You know what I'm saying? That he was going to like her on the show. But how can you say that she is just as much as a cast member, but already in the promo, she's not even in the official cast picture? She is treated like a shadow. She is treated like an afterthought. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even want to show her face in the cast photo. And then on the show, she is only being utilized for, you know what I'm saying? It seems like spot episodes. And it's just weird. It seems like they're going to build up the season of this Destiny versus Martell thing. Did they or didn't they ever do something? And then the side chick is going to pop up. And that she's going to have an issue with Destiny for trying to come after her man. When the reality is, if Martell is out here in these streets again, it's probably with somebody you don't know. But you're going to take it out on Destiny because you need something to come on the show with. And you knew you were never going to come on the show as long as Melody Cherie was there. And so, like I said, really, to me, the smoking gun is still what she alleged about the Scots 1.0 and 2.0, because I feel like it's a waste to bring her onto the show and not even address that at all when you are out here taking pictures with them out in Atlanta and everything else. Like you were right there at the scene of the crime. So if there is some agreement not to discuss any of that, then her being on the show as well, to me, is phony baloney anyways. So we'll see what happens, you guys. But I just wanted to give some commentary as far as my thoughts on what Funky Dineva had to say about the concubine finally being onto the show and everything else. And I want to hear from you guys. So that is the end of the video. Do me the biggest favor, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. Hype the video like you never hyped a video before in your life. There is that. That is it. That is all. It's Total SVNL. It's Benito. Is he on the road? Is he on the line for this video? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.